Brickmaniacs, it is time for another episode of Brickmania TV. Yeah.
Hey.
Brickmaniacs, today Cody is joining me to show off his awesome F-4 Phantom model.
I'm conjoining you.
Conjoining?
Yeah.
Nux. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I lost my train of thought with that.
That's okay. Did you ever have one?
No. Continue on. What is this model that we are looking at?
This is the F-4C Phantom 2.
F-4C. Phantom
4C.
2. There we go.
Very specific.
Mm-hmm.
So we originally chose to base this model off of one that currently sits in the Air Force Museum.
Very cool.
So that would be a C model, inspired by Colonel Olds,
yes.
Colonel Robin Olds. And yeah, so that's, I tried to base a color scheme off of that, as well as some of the sticker artwork. And that's why we chose that specific variant of it.
A lot of cool details on this model. Maybe a little bit of history.
Yep. So, obviously, F-4C Phantom. It's really similar to the Navy version of it. Mm-hmm. It kept a lot of the same components as far as it having an arrestor hook. And there would be parachutes also that come out, and the wingtips fold up to conserve space on the carrier deck.
Right.
So the Air Force didn't really change anything about the model of the F-4 Phantom. They just kept that sort of thing in there. And it's iconically goofy design, like the wings, how they kind of pitch up, just the tips pitch up, and mm-hmm. It's elongated feature. Kind of looks like a fish. I think it kind of looks like a fish, something goofy, a flying fish.
The flying fish.
It's got a ton of nicknames.
Oh yeah. Is flying fish one of them?
No.
No.
Double Ugly is one of them.
Double Ugly.
Yep. Anyways, so those features are very important to the integrity of the aircraft and how it flies and how it handles. So this jet can go Mach 2.2, which is very fast. And they discovered, without the wingtips being pitched up, once they reach Mach 2, the jet would lurch up drastically. So
the most terrifying experience ever at Mach 2.
It could cause pilots to lose control of the aircraft.
Right.
So they chose to elongate the fuselage and tip the wings up a little bit, and that corrected the issue. So this is let me see if I can nail this description. This is a tandem, 2-seat, twin-engine, long-range, supersonic interceptor and fighter bomber.
Wow.
I think
it does everything fast.
So
interceptor fighter bomber.
So nowadays you would find that they're described as a multi-role fighter.
There we go.
Just a real simple short description.
Let's just call it that.
Other than that whole thing. Yeah, so this was developed in 1959, or 1958 was its first flight, and went through a lot of different variants as aircraft do over time. Mm-hmm. It actually remained in service till 2016 with the United States as a targeting drone. So I'd use it for practice.
Very nice. That's cool.
Yeah, it's had a very long service life, various countries, and it's a pretty good aircraft. One thing that at that time they didn't include guns in the aircraft, which was problematic when you decide to rely more on radar-guided missiles and things like that, and heat-guided munitions.
You were telling me that those early radar and heat-guided missiles didn't have the best accuracy.
Right. So, and then the problem arises when you fire all of your missiles, none of them find their targets. You don't have a backup weapon. You're kind of screwed. You have to hope that they don't follow you once you disengage. So one way they sort of corrected that was they put I think it's an SUU-16A gun pod on center line. Check that out. Under the fuselage.
You might want to pick that up and show that off.
Pick it up. So we had Slam put a cool shark mouth on that gun pod there.
Very awesome.
Gray
Very cool gun pod.
Yeah. But the problem with having that gun pod is there wasn't a great conventional gun sight in the aircraft. So later models like
So they just had to eyeball that as they're shooting.
not really. I mean, there was a sight, but it wasn't like awesome. Anyways, so that was corrected in later models like the E model, which was elongated nose, and then they mounted a rotary gun in the nose.
In the nose, yeah.
And that was, I think, one of the most produced variants was the E and the D model. But again, we chose the C model because it resembles a specific aircraft. So I included, as far as weapons, 4 AIM-7E Sparrow missiles.
You want to point that out for the camera?
Yeah. So these 4 missiles here, they're sort of tucked into the aircraft slightly. I think I'm pointing to the right spots.
Yeah.
I can see.
Yes, you are.
So yeah, they kind of tuck up into the underside of the aircraft just a little bit. And then we have 4 AIM-9 Sidewinders. So this the Sparrows were part of a design I had for the F-16C loadout. I just changed the color a little bit.
Very nice.
Otherwise, it's in large part the same design. Sidewinders I put on here were the exact same design as I put on the F-16. Part of our.
That's cool getting to use the same design for armaments in later models. So
Yep.
Interesting to see that.
And everyone was asking for napalm, so
Yep.
I put napalm canisters on here. I think actually originally and I think you might find in the description, I called this a Mark 77, which is an actual thing, but I guess during Vietnam they classified them as Mark 47,
Wow.
which would designate napalm. I don't think the dimensions changed at all for the canister, but
Just the designation change.
designation, because you're kind of hard pressed to find if you do a simple Google search of
Right.
an M47 or MK47, an M77 pops up because that's a modern day armament, and it just changed the mixture inside, so it's not specifically napalm, but anyways, it's pretty much the same darn thing.
Cool.
And they would be on that aircraft.
Right. And obviously you
later on.
mentioned the gun pod.
Yep.
Yeah. I really love that gun pod. I think
That's pretty sweet.
as you were building this, I think a lot of people asked for it too online. So
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool.
Definitely. And there's also a space for a stand. If you remove the gun pod, or just move the gun pod more forward, I put it, where it should be on the aircraft. But our aircraft stand fits
Nice.
right there. Just plugs right into the bottom.
So pick up that aircraft stand. That goes really well to display this thing.
Yeah. Features. Yep. So it's got the cockpit details on the inside.
Yeah,
So
Slam
it's
put
got
together
printed,
some. Yeah, go
printed
ahead.
seats.
Printed seat.
Slam put together the seats on that one. Pretty cool. Pretty cool stuff.
The
The ejection handles.
Yes.
I love the head.
the black and yellow printing that represents just the ejection seat handle. So you lift, you put your hands up on them, you pull down.
Yeah. I also think there might have been on the sides of the seats too. I saw multiple handles. I think.
So you have to have 4 arms in order to actually eject from this airplane.
Your forearms. Yep. Yeah, that's how you get out. Landing gear collapses. This is just real simple. It just goes like that. We'll show up this side of the aircraft because this is where all the stickers are.
Okay.
So that's where all the stickers are.
Like you said, it was based off. This is based off of a specific model. There's actually 2 sets of stickers.
Yep. So the layout here is based off of Colonel Robin Olds. He was a triple ace. He flew during the Second World War and through Vietnam, so his combined kills makes him a triple ace. And he retired as a brigadier general. And he has a very iconic mustache.
Very iconic, non-regulation.
It's a non-regulation size
mustache.
mustache.
And that's why Cody has been growing a mustache.
I was inspired by the colonel. So, so he was a wing commander during Vietnam, and his vice wing commander, Daniel Chappie James, he ended up being the first African American 4-star general.
Yeah.
So we have his sticker layout also, and I believe his jet is found at the Tuskegee Air Museum.
Yeah.
Or the school. Tuskegee.
Yeah, he also flew in World War I, right? Correct.
He flew in World War II, but
Sorry, World War II.
as a civilian pilot.
World War II. It's just civilian.
Yep.
Okay, there we go.
And then he flew in the Korean War also. So they were both colonels during Vietnam. So they don't necessarily go in the same airplane together.
Right.
But if you want to, you can put them both in there.
So yeah,
one is the pilot, one is
so we
the
included.
RIO.
There are 2 minifigures that come exclusively with this kit, and they are both inspired by Colonel Robin Olds and Chappie.
Yep.
So,
Or as they were known during Vietnam, Black Man and Robin.
there we go. Yeah.
Cool piece of history there for you.
Do we want to go over the figures?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Let's check out the figure that was inspired by Olds and inspired by. So check out that helmet. Got the printing. So there's some scratches on it. There was a really awesome camouflage pattern that he had on that helmet. Just a simple, 2 colors. And then on the side, you see, at this time, it was just a double ace. Right, is what I could find.
At that time?
Yeah.
Maybe at that time.
Yeah, at the time he's a double ace.
Yep.
So his helmet just had 2 stars on it.
Yeah, because he flew a few different planes.
Right. And then, so we can take that off, take that helmet off. And this mandible cover representing an oxygen mask, excuse me. And check that out. That is that non-regulation mustache.
Non-regulation representation.
Representation. This is a representation of a non-regulation mustache. There's a cool visor that can flip up and down. I don't know if I can really get that very clearly on there. So on the side of that helmet, you can actually flip a little switch. It's really tiny, but you can do it. Survival vest. I've used a lot of these elements before on previous pilots.
Like the Super Saber?
Super Saber, very similar. I added a harness to this, and there's also a really cool combat, like survival knife. That's the first time you're seeing that.
And a pistol, right? Did you put the pistol?
And, yes, oops, excuse me. There is a pistol right there. So, same torso and legs on both of these pilots. They would probably all be wearing very similar gear.
Yeah.
There's numerous pictures that I saw with different pilots standing around, and they're all wearing very similar stuff. So, moving on to our figure representing Chappie. Some cool. He also had a mustache. It's definitely more regulation.
Yeah.
This figure, and
sweet helmet with that Black Panther.
Helmet with this Black Panther. Really cool. Some cool history that is inspiring all this stuff. So, really excited to get this kit out.
So if you bought the Super Saber, you can put these 2 on display together. Especially if you buy a display stand, aircraft display stand. You can have them both on their stands. It's a lot of cool camouflage airplanes there.
Very nice.
Very cool.
Any other features you want to show off on this thing?
I don't think so.
No?
I think it pretty much went over.
Covered
all
everything.
Of it. Yeah, it comes with this loadout. That's not an add-on pack. No. But yeah, it could carry various different bombs and munitions. I think over 18,000 pounds worth of bombs. Yeah, it's a beast of an aircraft. It's very fast. Performs well. It set 15 world records when it debuted. And one of them being speed. The other, another one was altitude, I think.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
That is a very awesome. Now we would call it a multi-role fighter. F-4C Phantom 2.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Designed by Cody Osell.
Who?
Cody Osell. Did I say your name wrong?
Osell.
Cody Osell. You work here, right?
Sometimes.
Okay. For more information on this kit and more information on Cody, check out brickmania.com. Thank you for watching.
Sorry.
Whoa.
One note I got to throw in there.
Okay.
So there's white on the bottom of these tips.
Go back.
If this makes you cringe and you don't want to put that
giant
white
sticker
on there, there is an option to just put the star.
Okay.
So
we get it. Giant stickers aren't always ideal.
Yeah. I put it on there because why not? And
why not?
Yeah, if it hurts you internally.
Giant stickers are perfect.
Giant stickers are perfect in every way.
Giant stickers save you money.
Next kit is just going to be a giant sticker. That is the episode, I hope. For more information, check out brickmania.com.
Let's keep going.
Camera guy is giving me a thumbs up and moving his fingers around. Oh, like, comment, and subscribe.
Oh, I ring the bell.
I don't know if that... Does
the
it do
thing.
anything?
He said, ring the bell. You
Does
ring
something?
the bell.
I'm trying to find it on my phone. I couldn't find it. On the computer, I found it. Or maybe it's the other way around. Maybe I found it.
It's on the computer.
Thank you for watching.